Hello and welcome to my FSX channel and this guide where I'll be showing you the startup procedures of the Majestic Dash8 400. I do hope you enjoy it. So let's get to work.
And this is how the cockpit looks like freshly launched from the FSX panel. And as you see, we have some things going and some things that aren't going. So let's just go ahead and do a cold and dark start. We'll go to the overhead panel and turn off the knobs here, the DC control, like so. And also over here the AC control. Those are set to off. And as you can see, it's cold and dark. We'll now go ahead and turn on the battery. All these four. And the main bus tie. We'll now take away the annoying yoke. So you click down here on the bottom of the pedestal over here, like that. And we'll turn on our FMCs, both of them. You'll see the testing logo on all screens. And you'll see the FMC going through its self-test. While it does this, I'll show you the route I'm planning to program today, which is from Bergen-Flesland to Kristiansand-Kjevik. We'll do the Bedik departure from Bergen, which is also the standard arrival for Kristiansand. So our flight plan today will have a single waypoint, which is Bedik. We'll do a southerly departure out of Bergen, and also again southerly arrival at Kristiansand. The self-test is now complete. We'll just check the nav date. It's okay, so I click accept. Do this on both of them. And now we'll concentrate our efforts on the FMC1, this one. And we'll go to the flight plan and just type in, well, we have to type in our departure. Let's see. We're departing from Bergen. And going to the waypoint Bedik. And arriving at Kristiansand-Kjevik. There we go. Also you get a flashing message, so you just click the message button twice to remove it. Okay, so let's see. Before we continue now, it's probably a good idea to open the Majestic configuration for the aircraft. We'll adjust our weights. Well, I'm a newbie myself, so we'll just go by the seat of our pants here and say that we'll have 14 pieces of luggage in the front and well, 26 in the back. We'll have 10 passengers, 20 again, make totaling 50 passengers. For this trip we don't need much, but remember, fuel is also a balance and weight issue, so too little it's not good, too much is not good either. So for this the total fuel or takeoff fuel will be, let's see, let's go for 4,000, and I'll probably just use around 1,000. So we'll calculate and see our zero fuel weight is out of bounds. So I need to up this a bit. Let's see if I go with 5,000 here and see if that helps. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna add a few more passengers. It's starting to help. Yep, there we go. We needed a few more people in the back, or some more weight at least. So this gives a 30, 54, 64 passengers, so that's pretty much a full plane, almost. Okay, I'll send this data to the flight sim, like so, and I'll keep this open because we need it later. Oh, look at that. So, I'm gonna open that later again. Okay, we're back into the sim and gonna continue with our programming, and well, let's go. When you click the flight plan, like so, go to the menu, and we're gonna click enter our departure, which will be doing a southerly departure today, so that will be runway 1. Just enter 1, you see 1 is 17, then enter. And we're going to the Bedic waypoint. This is the Bedic to Charlie departure. Click 1 again. That's it. Can click back on the flight plan and then menu, and I'll also program our arrival. We're planning on arriving on runway 22. We can change this later if we need to. So runway 22 and also the Bedic departure. No, sorry, arrival, and that's the Bedic 5 mic. Sorry, 6 mic arrival. There we go. And we're gonna have a little look. What you can do, as you probably are familiar with other aircrafts, is to change the format of the presentation on the PDF. So you do that by clicking on the format, and then the format button down here, like so, changes normal and planning mode. So you change it like so. You click next and previous to jump through or cycle through your flight plan. As you can see, it's looking good. We have one waypoint here. It says no link. It's just a disconnection between well, that's a point of go around or missed approach. So you'll just keep it in there. But as ordinary, you check your lateral navigation here now and see that there are no disconnections that shouldn't be there. This is looking fine though. Okay, we'll go to the fuel page. And as I said, I have 64 passengers on board. So we enter that. And now I'm gonna open my configuration page again. And as you can see, we have 680 kilos of baggage or cargo. 680. It gives us a zero fuel weight of 23 tons. So just adding about 500 kilos of alternate fuel, 500 again for holding fuel, and well, another 2,000 extra, which gives us 3,000 in reserve. And I now go to I just click fuel on board, this one, and it's asking me how much fuel you have on board at the moment. I just simply look here on the engine display, and it says 2,000 in either tank. So that's what I enter. There we go. It gives us a total of fuel of 4,000 kilos, which will be plenty. Okay, that's pretty much it for now. If you're thinking, well, what about the VNav? Actually, that's something you program when you're in flight. What you check for here is basically just the limitations. If there's certain waypoints that have certain limitations in regard to speed or height. And as you can see, we have our third waypoint, Maxit, that has a limitation. You have to be above flight level 160. So, as you see, our VNav for now, it doesn't really tell us much. We'll cover that during our in-flight programming. Okay, so we'll leave our FMC now and continue with starting up this wonderful aircraft. So I'll just turn on our logo lights, and I'll turn on our power in just a second. We need to have our ground unit on. So I'll click Data and go to Services and request a GPU, like so. And as you shortly will see, it will turn up right in front of us here. There we go. So I'll go back up on the overhead panel and click on this one for external DC power, and over here external AC power. Now I'll click on the APU start button, or ask for power, so it will go through a self-test first, and you will see some blinking lights across all these buttons. So clicking this one and start. And I'll also turn on some more light while we're up here. We'll check our METAR. And as you can see, we'll refresh this one. This is VATSPY, by the way, a genius program. Our weather today is, well, almost calm wind. 5 knots from 230 degrees. Good visibilities, a few clouds at 600 feet. Scattered at 1,000, broken at 1,600. Okay, temperature, a little bit cold, 13 degrees, dew point at 11, and QNH 1001. We'll be having just minor changes to the weather. And it's a remark about a wind shift, but hardly noticeable. At Kristiansand, we'll be having more winds, 240 at 11 knots, so that's, for this small aircraft, that's noticeable. Good visibilities, broken clouds at 2400, slightly higher temperature at 17 degrees, and 1003 QNH. Okay, so I'll set our QNH now for 1001. We'll do that over here. This knob, and you see here. Okay. And we're almost ready to start this this wonderful aircraft. So, and not doing much overhead now. We'll do some more knob turning later. So before we start, let's just check that everything down here is as it should, which it isn't. You place your fuel levers back on start position down here. This is the fuel cutoff, and this is the, whoops, there we go, this is the start. So we'll place this here. We'll select our fuel or our speed brakes, I hardly would say, this brake here, to inhibit the thrust levers going forward beyond the flight idle position. We also need to set up parking brakes. We should probably have done that earlier, but here we go. And with that said, we're ready to start our engines. Well, we can turn on our radios first for the fun of it, and we go up to the overhead panel. This button here, you turn it to normal, and then you select which engine you want to start. We'll take the left one, and then click start. And our prop will be starting to spin quite shortly. There we go. And on the RPM, we're looking for 220, which will be our indicator to up the prop gear. So there we go, 210, 220. We'll set it to one notch up, which is 850. This will be the position it will stay in during the taxi, but we'll put it in flight mode as a part of our takeoff preparation. And our prop is spinning up nicely. We have normal values. And we'll go for the right engine, put that to normal ignition. We're going to start the right one and click enter. And also this prop is starting to rev up. And of course we need to add some fuel, which is why it's taking so long. There we go. Looking for 210, 220 again. There we go. and placing it to 850. And we have two good engine starts. Our number 2 engine is balancing out. So we'll go on the overhead panel, take away our external power, turn on our generator for AC control power, and take off external AC control. We're ready to disable our APU, so we'll turn that off. We'll put on our air, bleed air. And cabin pressure. We'll have to turn on our pitot static and also our standby. And we'll go down to here and turn this on. It's our anti-skid. And let's see. Oh yeah, the generators. On with those, of course. Okay. That should do it. We only have a parking brake warning, which is perfectly normal. We'll turn on our other lights. There we go. We'll also turn on our cabin heat and the pilot side window heat. You will notice that the windows actually fog up quite quickly if you don't do it. Okay, back on our front panel here, we'll select our nav source to nav1 or FMS1. We'll also do the same on the co-pilot side. Click until you get FMS1. And we're happy about that. We'll select our format back. Another thing to know about this aircraft is that it can push back all on its own. You just simply release your brakes. And when you have them in flight idle, or at the position you see now, just slightly below flight idle, you will go ever so slightly backwards. If you continue, you will go more quickly. So we'll just push back here now and set our flaps. Normal flap position for takeoff is 10, 5 to 10. And at this time it's also good to set your landing flaps actually. So you find this below the gear landing gear knob. Set this to 15. And we're pushed back quite far enough. Set our parking brakes. And we are good to go. Just a little word about steering on the ground. If you have rudder pedals, just be aware that this is hard-coded into this aircraft, that you cannot use the rudder pedals during slow taxi. They don't kick in until 40 knots. So you actually use your yoke to steer while on the ground. You don't need to press Control Shift U to enable it. It will steer by the yoke all by itself without you doing anything. And during the takeoff roll, you Need to remember that beyond 40 knots your yoke will become useless to steer on the ground, and you need to use your rudder pedals beyond 40 knots to keep the aircraft aligned on the runway. So that's it, and I hope you enjoy your flight. See you next time.